beautiful but windy day in West Texas, and we have a great matchup for you today. Big 12 football presented by Kyocera. The Oklahoma Sooners at 6-3. The 19th ranked Texas Tech Red Raiders 8-2. It could be a battle for berth in the Cotton Bowl. Everybody's been chasing the Longhorns all year in the Big 12 South. And good morning, everybody. Along with Dave Lapham, I'm Drew Goodman. Well, Oklahoma's on a bit of a roll. They've won 4 consecutive games. They had a lot of young players getting their first starts early this season. They're starting to come together, and it has coincided with the return of one Adrian Peterson. He's pretty good last time I checked.
Pretty good. Heisman Trophy runner-up last year. Fighting a high ankle sprain this year, but he's getting better and better as the weeks progress. 2 straight 100-yard rushing games. There's last week's total against A&M. He's starting to get padded up, get ready. A rare combination of speed and power. This guy can thump you between the tackles or take it to the distance on the edge. And he's complemented now by Rhett Bowmore. Early on in the season, Rhett Bowmore was confused. Therefore, he was playing out of control. Now he understands what's going on, and he's stepping into throws, and he's making the right reads and getting the ball to the right people. He's really developing as a young quarterback.
Now, Texas Tech has been very good all year long. They did stub their toe a little bit last week. They lost in Stillwater, Oklahoma. They're still 8-2 overall. Everything in front of them that they hope to accomplish. And you talk about their throwing game. Everybody does. But to me, the guy that makes it all work, not necessarily just the quarterback, but Taurean Henderson, their running back. You talk about complete backs. This guy's it.
Very versatile. And in my opinion, the most underrated player in all of college football. Never mind the Big 12. They have to get him going. Last week against Oklahoma State, -6 yards rushing. That is mind-boggling. Only 23 yards receiving it in last week's football game. This guy, there's only 3 people in the history of college football that have run the football for 2,000 yards and caught the football for 2,000 yards in the air. This guy's one of them. He is versatile. He is dynamic. He's going to be a factor today. They have to get him going.
Well, another factor today could be the wind. It is really blowing out there.
Oh, there's no doubt. And, you know, wind will affect the passing game more than the running game. Take that into account as we think about today's game.
This guy will hit you in the mouth. Dwayne Slay, leading tackler for the Sooners, linebacker Rufus Alexander. It should be a whole lot of fun. Oklahoma and Texas Tech. Come on back to Lubbock with us. The Oklahoma Sooners getting ready to enter Jones SBC Stadium in front of a sellout crowd in mid-November. Third member of our crew, Jim Knox. Where are you?
Hey, Drew, outside Jones Stadium, need to find directions to get inside Jones Stadium. A little confused. We don't want to miss the big game. It should be an outstanding one as Texas Tech says goodbye to 17 seniors, including Cody Hodges and Taurean Henderson. Maybe this guy can help me out. Hey, it's the masked rider himself. Which side? You take over. There you go. Hop on Midnight Matador. There you go, masked rider. Have a good game. We'll see you inside. Go get them. All right. Hey, can I keep the mask? You got it. Thanks.
Hey, Knoxy, we got a lot of emails very quickly. Many folks believe you look better with that mask on, actually, so keep it on for a while.
Zorro Knox.
Zorro Knox. Temperature's 54 degrees. The big fellows will like that, Dave. The quarterbacks will not like a 40-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah, when it's gusting 40 miles an hour, wind is the only element of Mother Nature that will favor one team and work against the other. Last week in Ames, Iowa, we saw a football game where all the points were scored with the wind at the back. Throwing into the wind is difficult. Running the football becomes a premium when the wind is such a big factor.
Oklahoma won the toss. They've deferred to the second half. They will kick off to Texas Tech, so they'll try to make a statement with their young defense. And we are set to go. Not many seats were available midweek. They sold this thing out, not surprisingly. The Red Raiders have won 8 consecutive games at home, though they've lost overall 5 straight against the Oklahoma Sooners. It is not that long a history when you talk about the rivalry between these two schools. It only goes back to 1992. This is not one of those old Southwest Conference rivalries that you know, goes back to the 20s or something like that. Last time we were here, the Aggies were in town, and that rivalry dated to 1927. And the wind's a factor already.
Going to have to put somebody on that football. It's going to have to hold it just like for an extra point or field goal, like a placement kick, because the wind is definitely a factor, and it's at Oklahoma's back right now. There's no question about it. Texas Tech wanted to have the wind at their back in the fourth quarter of this football game. Oklahoma will have the wind at their back and have to make hay. Texas Tech into the wind in the first quarter. What will they be able to get done?
Danny Amendola, number 20. Shannon Woods, number 21, deep to receive the kick, and we're underway in Lubbock. And this thing will sail through the end zone, and the Red Raiders will begin at the 20-yard line. Let's take a look at the Kyocera starters. Offensively, Cody Hodges has waited his turn, and it was well worth the wait. The fifth-year senior has had a marvelous year. He's thrown for just south of 4,000 yards this year. And Dave, the thing that makes him intriguing to me is he can run the football if necessary.
Yeah, he can, Drew. He's got great feet. You know, Mike Leach said of all the quarterbacks that he's had, this is the fourth straight fifth-year senior that has executed this offense for Mike Leach, and Hodges has the best feet.
Hodges will operate almost exclusively out of the shotgun. He's got Henderson next to him. Three receivers to the top. Underneath handoff. Here comes Henderson. And he moves it forward for 7 or 8 yards. Let's take a look at the rest of the offensive starters. Up front, they have a big offensive line and a very good offensive line. Manuel Ramirez is a junior from Houston. He is enormous. It takes 3 days to move around him. He goes 340 pounds. The guys that'll handle the football, Hicks is 6'4". Johnson's a converted quarterback, and Filani's a big kid that can fly. They have good receivers. Not surprisingly, when you throw it more than 50 times a game, you better have good receivers. Second and short. Hodges has a screen set up, and this one's blown up. It'll be a loss of about 7 yards. Clint Ingram read it, and that will get Texas Tech off schedule. Let's take a look at the defensive starters for the Oklahoma Sooners. Up front, Dvorak was in a walking cast with a bad ankle earlier this week, bad foot. He is going to give it a go. Ingram, Latimer, and Alexander. They'll play a lot of nickel and dime today. The secondary will get tested. 2 sophomores and a true freshman in Reggie Smith back there. Keys to the game for the Oklahoma Sooners, David.
Well, balance, Drew. We saw the win. The utility man holding that pylon shows the win. They have to be able to run it and throw it. No 3 and outs. Texas Tech's going to score a bunch of points. You need to have productive drives, and they want to hassle Hodges, get after him, get him out of rhythm.
On the blitz, it was picked up. Henderson finds a seam. Henderson across midfield. Finally run down by Ingram, but not until he got to the 45-yard line. And then a late flag came in. It was a pickup of 25 yards for Taurean Henderson, who was really bottled up last week by the Oklahoma State Cowboys.
Well, Drew, you know what? Who says Texas Tech can't run the football? They're into the wind, and it's a stiff breeze, so they're saying, we can run it. We have Taurean Henderson. He's as good in space as anybody in the country, and he is doing a job running the football. The offensive line with those huge splits, the splits that Texas Tech's offensive line take, create natural running lanes. Henderson has taken advantage of those, and there could be additional yards after this run. Personal foul, late hit out of bounds.
Personal foul, face mask. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Boy, it wasn't the 5-yard variety, it was the 15, and Bob Stoops does not like what he's seeing here because Texas Tech is running the football. Last week, they couldn't run it. Taurean Henderson getting into the secondary, making people miss. Shifty, change of direction, acceleration. It all starts with Texas Tech's offensive line.
5 DBs, 2 linebackers in for Oklahoma. 2nd and 8. And Hodges changing the play at the line of scrimmage. And a quick throw. Filani has it, and he scoots out of bounds about 2 yards shy of the 10-yard line. That's where they need to get for the first down. That'll set up 3rd down and 2.
Nice job by Robert Johnson on the edge as a wide receiver making a block. Texas Tech's offensive line talked about those humongous splits they're taking. They're big today. They're huge. Normally, an offensive line, 23 feet from tackle to tackle is the space they take. 2 feet between guard and center, 3 feet guard and tackle. That's the norm. Here we're taking a look between the center and the guard. That's a normal split. Texas Tech expands that from tackle to tackle, 35 feet. That is a wide pocket when they're throwing the football. And from guard to center, 5 feet. You know, more than doubling that split, and that creates running lanes as well.
Henderson is taken down for a loss of 4. Penetration for Remy Iodell, the senior from Grand Prairie, Texas. And that will eliminate any thoughts for Mike Leach of going for it if it was 4th down and short. They lose 4 yards after it was 3rd and 2. So we will see the field goal unit and Alex Trelica.
Well, this is more than a 33-yard field goal. Into this wind, it's spotted at the 23-yard line, the 10 yards to the end zone, and the wind in your face. This is more like a field goal of over 40 yards to execute.
Good snap, good hold, and Trelica has it through. Nicely done. Almost as if they talked to the gods a little bit. The winds died down for a moment. So Tech gets points on their opening drive. They were shut out last week in Stillwater in the first half. 3-0, they lead. Back in Lubbock, Texas, along with Dave Lapham and Drew Goodman, I'm Drew Goodman, along with Jim Knox. I'll remember who I am. 3-0 Texas Tech, and they're set to kick it deep to the University of Oklahoma. I tell you what, the wind is not only blowing, but it's swirling. If you look at the top of the goalpost, and we'll get a shot for you in a moment. On one end, David, it's blowing, to the south, it looks like. On the other end, it's blowing to the north.
Yeah, it is swirling a little bit, and it's big for Texas Tech to get points in their first drive, combating that wind. Look at the kickoff get knocked down.
Yeah, this is well short. Smith doesn't handle it. And that was fortunate for Oklahoma.
That was a free ball.
That was a free ball, and finally it was grabbed by Garrett Hart, well, there's double number 10. So I know that wasn't Hartley who grabbed it. Hartley's the kicker. Anyhow, here's the quarterback, Rhett Beaumart. He's from Grand Prairie, Texas as well, and his head coach is really pleased with the progress he's made in his first season.
He just sees everything better, now, and the game is starting to slow down for him, where he recognizes defense is quicker. He understands where he needs to go with the ball quicker. And I think there's a lot of people, it's fair to say, have grown with him.
Here comes Adrian Peterson, and he'll move the pile a couple of yards. He ran into Chris Hudler, a junior from Mesquite, Texas, initially. Hudler had a big game last week, an interception for the big fella, and also a fumble recovery in the end zone to provide points for Texas Tech. The offensive line for Oklahoma, and you heard Coach Stoops, they've developed as well. They've used 3 different centers. John Cooper's a true freshman from Fort Collins, Colorado. Wilson, a big target. He's the veteran of this group. And let's not forget the fullback, J.D. Runnels. He's one of the better fullbacks in college football. And you could see the wind take that pass as they were trying to get the ball to Malcolm Kelly. So it'll be 3rd down and 8 for the Sooners.
It is a huge factor as you get it airborne.
Here's Peterson now trying to cut it back. Beaumart's going to get involved, trying to get a block. And Peterson is knocked off his feet by Chris Parker.
Yeah, pretty good job by Parker. Peterson tried to be Edwin Moses and couldn't quite get that done. Peterson is running, though, pretty fluidly, and he tries to get up over Parker, and he just got tripped up. If his left foot had not hit Parker's backside, and he could have come down strong on that left foot, just got tripped up just enough. I think that Peterson's running about as powerfully and as forcefully and making good decisions and quick cuts. He looks pretty good out there.
This is just his 5th start of the year. He had a game he could not play at all against Baylor, and then a couple of other games where he basically couldn't go. And boy, that is a very good catch at the 30-yard line. Kelly did hang on. Boy, you talk about a ball knuckling and having to pull it off your shoe tops, and Kelly's 6'4".
He did a good job of boxing out. Here you have a 6'4" guy that's playing body position, boxes out the defender going over his back before the arrival of the football. I thought there very easily could have been a flag thrown on Nasruddin on that one. Is that Nasruddin? I think it is. And he goes over the back. But Kelly, Kelly is 6'4", Nasruddin is 5'10", boxed him out and got the rebound. Instead of rebound in this case, got the possession of the football.
Kelly really coming on in the end zone. Already this year as a true freshman, he's got 21 receptions coming in, 22 now. That'll be another first down for Oklahoma to the 22-yard line. Dwayne Slay will get up last defensively. But Peterson, as we figured, would be a workhorse in this ballgame.
And here's a late flag, something going on way after the play. I don't know if this is an offset or somebody's mouthing off or somebody retaliated. And
dead ball, personal foul, number 41.
That's 2 of them, 2 on him.
The distance to the goal.
He gave up 30 yards in penalties in 1 drive. Sylvester Brinkley's got to get a hold of himself.
Well, he's coming off the field right now.
Yeah, I'd send him in the locker room. I mean, he is killing his football team. That's selfish. That's being selfish. That's a personal gratification for whatever reason, taking shots at people after the play, killing your team.
Peterson behind Runnels, 1st and 10. Here's Peterson trying to get downhill, and he'll get across the 10 of the 9-yard line, a minimal gain. Keep in mind one thing about Texas Tech. Not only are they fired up to play Oklahoma, they haven't beaten them since 1999. They're fired up, period, if 11 guys ran out there in T-shirts to play, because they're hacked off from last week. They did not play well in Stillwater. They were shut out in the first half, and they had a good week of practice. But Mike Leach, one of the things he did in their team room, he took away all video games. He said if there's going to be video on, it's going to be football video.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Mike Leach has not beaten that man, Bob Stoops, as a head coach here at Texas Tech. He wants to get one under his belt against Bob Stoops.
Peterson, big opening. It closed around the 5-yard line, and Peterson gets down to the 3. He's going to be just short of a first down, as they can get a first down without scoring a touchdown.
Davin Joseph blocked down on Chris Hudler and moved him. When Davin Joseph, big number 77 for Oklahoma, right there, when he blocks down, boy, he will move the pile. Watch the big fella. Shoot. He's going to block down. And here we go. See you later. Just wash it away. Take it all the way past the other side of the line of scrimmage. That is reestablishing the line of scrimmage. Davin Joseph, when he blocked down, he caved the whole defensive line in. Power.
3rd and short. Peterson will be very close to a first down. As Dwayne Slay's pumping his fist, he thinks he stopped him short. In the middle of things was McKinnon-Dixon.
Dwayne Slay, to have him as a safety on your goal line defense, like having another linebacker, 6'3", 214, hits like a linebacker, will thump you. Who's going to control the line of scrimmage? They run the old power play, pull the guard. Peterson tries to backdoor it, and Dawson is involved in the bottom. Bunch of action up top. Is it 1st and goal, or is it 4th and short? Slay, though, is going to make a lot of money on Sunday as a down-low safety close to the line of scrimmage. 1st and goal.
It is 1st and goal just outside the 1 for Oklahoma, with 1:35 to go in the opening quarter.
And it's big because Texas Tech settled for a field goal in their red zone journey. If Oklahoma, 4 chances to punch this across the goal line and get 7, and they have to with the wind at their back. Texas Tech got 3 points into the win through an interception in the end zone that curtailed another red zone opportunity. Here's a big one for Oklahoma.
Early. And movement on the left side. Davin Joseph going.
Yep. When the big boy gets rolling, he's not going to be able to stop that body. Once it starts rolling forward, he's gone.
Prior to the snap, false start. Offense, number 77. 5-yard penalty, first down.
You were going to see Peterson 4 straight times.
Sure.
We'll see if it changes here philosophically for Coach Stoops. Now here comes Peterson. And he didn't get his shoulder squared to the line of scrimmage. Ball comes out late, and they're going to say he's down.
Yeah, forward progress had stopped.
Randy Crystal came in and emphatically indicated that he was stopped. No gain on the play. And again, it's McKinnon-Dixon, number 91, in the middle of things.
Whistle was blowing, forward progress was stopped. Ball came out late. But it's a much different situation now for Oklahoma. Here Peterson is going backwards, and the ball's eventually pulled out of there as he's going 5 yards in reverse, and the whistle was blowing the whole time, no fumble. But you're right, it was going to be Adrian Peterson for as many times as it took from inside the 2. And you're thinking, boy, this is almost a gimme touchdown. Now it's no gimme touchdown. I mean, 4 points hanging the balance.
Bomar with Kewan Jones next to him. Bomar will run it, and he'll get down to the 3-yard line. Slay got a piece of him there.
Quarterback counter, called play. This is the dimension that Bomar gives you. Very, very athletic at the quarterback position. A two-way guy.
Ken Scott made the tackle. The first chapter closed in Lubbock, Texas. The Red Raiders leading the Sooners 3-0. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on FSN. Plaque and a statue honoring Will Rogers. We're in West Texas, Lubbock to be exact. 19th ranked Texas Tech with a 3-0 lead as we begin the second quarter. Along with Dave Lapham and Jim Knox, I'm Drew Goodman. A windy day in mid-November. The Red Raiders trying to finish the regular season at 9-2. They've won 8 in a row here at Jones SBC Stadium. And the Sooners trying to win for the 5th consecutive time and move their record to 7-3. They still have the Bedlam game left with Oklahoma State. Peterson, he got close. Did he get in? No signal. He stopped just shy.
Looked like he extended it, but
you know what?
Tight.
If you're Bob Stoops, Dave, you're on the 2-inch line right now.
Yeah, and this one you might want to take a long look at. Was his knee down and the ball short of the goal line? He's on top of bodies. Where's the ball? The ball never did cross the plane of the goal line. It is within the shadow. And he wasn't down. He was trying to extend the ball over his head, and Texas Tech wouldn't let him do it. So they are just short, and Bob Stoops is saying, all right, offensive line, if we can't get this, we don't deserve the game. We got to get this in the end zone with Adrian Peterson and Runnels.
They're going to give it to Peterson, and he's in for a touchdown. They had 3 guys in the A-gap and a good call. They went between the guard and the tackle, moved down a couple of spots, and they get in the end zone, and the Sooners lead at 6-3.
And you have an Oklahoma Sooner down inside the 5-yard line, and they run the old power play. Runnels is going to lead them, and they pull the guard. Runnels kicks out guard. Shishan turns it up inside, and that is a signature play for Oklahoma.
Garrett Hartley will try to tack on the extra point after the 1-yard run by Adrian Peterson. He has it through, and the Sooners lead it 7-3 in Lubbock. 47 seconds into the second quarter. We're back right after this on FSN. A 91-yard, 16-play drive. Buddy Holly, if he was still around, would approve if it was a Texas Tech Red Raider drive, but it was an Oklahoma Sooner drive, and the Sooners have a 7-3 lead. Adrian Peterson capped it off. He has been busy. Not surprisingly, Peterson already with 11 carries in the football game.
8 minutes and 25 seconds off the clock. That's playing keep away with that explosive Texas Tech offense. You can't draw it up any better. 16 plays, 91 yards, almost 8.5 minutes dripping the clock. That's how you want to try to beat the Raiders. Red Raiders by keeping their Hodges and their explosive offense on the sideline.
Amendola picks it off on a bounce at the 15-yard line, and Danny across the 30 to the 33-yard line. Some pretty good field position for Texas Tech. 7-3 here. Oklahoma leading in Lubbock. Henderson, little shake. Henderson breaks it back. And he's run out of bounds at midfield finally by Clint Ingram. You know, there's some guys that are just meant to play on turf, and this is one of those guys.
Yeah, it is, and he can change direction. He can make two people miss in space. When he changes direction and decides to go, boy, he can pop it. And the spy was not a factor on that one. They didn't really have the spy defense called. And the spy is Rufus Alexander. And Rufus Alexander was not designated spy on that snap, and that's what happened. 42 in the white jersey. We can tell when he's spying Taurean Henderson, and that wasn't the call on that one.
Hodges with trips to the top, look in that direction, and his throw complete to the 40-yard line. And that's the first catch today by Jared Hicks. And Hicks has become one of the favorite targets for Cody Hodges. That's his 60th catch of the year. He's been in the end zone 8 times this year. Big guy, 6'4".
6'4", 210, tremendous body control. That's the thing about Jared Hicks. Look at the size of him. and his body control is phenomenal. He's got speed. He can stretch the field vertically as well. Very gifted, talented receiver.
Also a very bright kid. His nickname is the Professor. Hodges in trouble, and he is dropped for the first time today. Getting to him, Clint Ingram. That's the 3rd sack this year for Ingram. And keep in mind, Oklahoma last week had 9 sacks as a team.
And Oklahoma is getting some speed on the football field now. They've gone from 3-man to 4-man lines. Ingram sometimes will put his hand down as a 4th down lineman. Ingram's a very versatile guy. Ingram can drop back into coverage, or he can come like he is right here, and that's just some strength. I mean, he just absolutely shed the blitz pickup responsibility and threw him aside and got the quarterback sacked. That is power and closing speed on the quarterback. 3rd
and 5. Tech needs the 40-yard line. They'll have it. Olamua, then he lost the football. That's a fumble. It's picked up by Wolf. DJ Wolf.
Former running back himself.
Olamua had the first down, and then the ball came out.
Yeah, they threw the beanbag, spotting a potential fumble, but now they're saying it was incomplete. I mean, now they're talking about it. The officials are talking about it. They're saying, okay, was it complete or incomplete? Does he have possession? Is he juggling the football? And it's punched out of there from behind. But does he ever have full possession before the ball is punched out of there by Jason Carter? Jason Carter had the big interception in the end zone, thwarting a drive. Then he punches the ball out of there with the right hand from behind. The question is, did Olamua have the football before Carter punched it out of there? Did he have full possession and control of the football?
Well, you know
defensive holding, moot point to all of it.
Yeah, the whole thing's wiped out. We didn't see the flag. Defensive holding, automatic first down. Two receivers to the top. Henderson behind Hodges, who goes underneath center. And a reverse to Filani. And he makes a decent cut, but there was penetration on the play by Calvin Thibodeau. First time we've called Thibodeau's name. He had 3 sacks last week against A&M. He made that play, forced it back inside, minimal gain, as they tried to get a reverse going to Filani, who in open field can really move.
He can, and Thibodeau's a great story. 8 sacks on the season, 3 last week. That was his 14th tackle for loss potentially. And this guy he had a torn ACL. He was struggling in early fall camp. They lost their number 1, number 2, and number 3 defensive ends to knee injury, and he's become the guy. What a story.
Hodges moves the launch point. He has Robert Johnson. And Johnson gets it to the 29-yard line before Darian Williams could grab him around the legs. It'll be 3rd down, about 4 from that point.
Robert Johnson, extremely elusive, incredibly athletic. He's got great instincts. Former quarterback again himself. Very, very high on NFL draft boards next year. He's considered amongst the best in the country in his class next year as a wide receiver. He can do a lot of things. And you see the balance in Mike Leach's offense. The balance comes from distributing the football to all the receivers. He's got 4 receivers with 50 or more catches, 1 with 60 or more.
They go to Henderson. He'll have a big opening and a first down inside the 10-yard line. Stopped at about the 9.5. Finally by Lewis Baker, the free safety. Henderson with a little burst.
Yeah, Henderson runs behind Ramirez, and that's a good place to run. The big old horse here. And look at their splits. And there's natural lanes because of the line splits. And then when they run the draw, those line splits become such a huge deal. Henderson has popped it to the secondary before they can recover. When you spread people out like that, you have a 340-pound horse at right guard that bench presses 550 and widens the lane even more. You're going to get some yards, and Henderson loves it. Look at that, averaging over 10 yards a pop. 74 yards on 7 lugs.
After being in negative territory last week, he gets the call again. And he'll get just a couple of yards on 1st and goal, just inside the 10-yard line.
Again, who said Texas Tech can't run the football? Taurean Henderson answering the challenge.
Well, Dave, they have 24 rushing touchdowns this year, which is the most they've had in several seasons.
Right. And again, part of it is, even in the red zone, as we saw, those linemen have so much confidence in the system that they will spread people out. Mike Leach's philosophy is, why should I bring people in between the hash marks? Their linebackers and safeties can tackle better than my wide receivers can block. I'm going to still spread them out like he's doing here. Look at the splits, and look at still spreading people out.
Hodges fade toward Hicks, well covered, but it's complete for a touchdown. DJ Wolf was in his hip pocket.
And they've got a pass interference penalty that won't be a factor. They've got Wolf for pass interference. Flag was thrown. It will be declined. Touchdown. Jared Hicks with the bigger body, better body control.
9th touchdown receiving this year for Jared Hicks, the junior from Houston.
Here he is at the top of the screen, one-on-one with Wolf. Isolation, run the fade. 6'4", and they got Wolf for grabbing Hicks well before the football got there. Hicks fought through all that. Said, it doesn't matter. If I get the ball accurately enough, it's a touchdown. And it was.
You know, even with the wind, Dave, that is not an easy throw to make on a day like today.
No, you have to adjust the touch. That's a great point, Drew. Hodges could have, into the wind, could have thrown that out of bounds easily to get it airborne and to put the right touch on it to loft it down that accurately in that tight a window is strong.
Trulika now 113 for 113 in his career with extra points. Tech leads it at halftime 10-7. Not the number of points we thought we'd see, at least through 30 minutes. Jim Knox down on the field with Mike Leach. Jim.
Drew, thank you very much. Coach, let me talk to you real quick. First off, OU's defense is showing you your offense a lot of looks. So far, though, Cody Hodge doing a nice job take away that interception. Your thoughts?
Well, we've done a good job moving the ball. We just got to finish drives.
What about the defense on Adrian Peterson? So far, holding him in check as well.
Well, we just have to improve this half and play better this next half.
Mike, thank you, Drew.
All right, thanks very much.
A focused Mike Leach.
A very focused Mike Leach. 10-7, the Red Raiders leading in Lubbock. Now let's join Mike Goldberg, Billy Ray Smith, and Kellen Winslow for our College Football Saturday halftime report. Back in Lubbock, Texas, 10-7, the Red Raiders leading the Oklahoma Sooners at halftime. More than likely, the winner of this game will go to the Cotton Bowl, which will be played in Dallas on January 2nd this year. Back with Dave Lapham, I'm Drew Goodman. 10-7 at halftime. Texas Tech had opportunities, particularly in that first quarter, to open up a 2-score lead. They made one costly error. That's why it's a field goal difference right now.
Oh, there's no question about it. And they're in the red zone, and they usually score touchdowns in the red zone. But in this occasion, it didn't happen. Hodges throws the interception. Carter makes a great read, jumps in front of Filani, and Hodges never saw Carter. Interception. Now this is a great throw. With the wind at his back, Hodges just threads the needle. I mean, gets a perfect ball into Hicks. And this is Oklahoma football. Power football. Left guard King, the fullbacks block. Peterson taking it to the house. And how about Texas Tech out-rushing Oklahoma? Henderson has gotten off in the first half. Ran the football well. 200 yards offense. Texas Tech 207. Oklahoma not anywhere near that. But it's a close football game everywhere. Everywhere you can imagine. Time of possession, penalties, third downs. That's why we have a 10-7 football game. And it's going to be a big one. And I'll tell you what, Drew, the wind will be a huge factor in the second half, just like it was in the first.
So much of a factor that Bob Stoops is elected to have the wind at his back in the fourth quarter, because they're kicking off here. And Tech got it to start the football game as well. Amendola 6 yards deep, will put a knee down. Let's check in with Jim Knox. Knoxy?
Okay, Drew, real quick, talk to Coach Stoops. He just told me they got to do a better job stopping the run. That is Taurean Henderson. They have to do a better job running the football. Looking for the wind to be a big problem, of course, here in the second half. They got to find some pockets to throw the football. But directly to my right, there's John Cooper, their big center. He is out, of course, the rest of the game. Just came out on the field talking to some of his teammates. A right soft cast on his foot, guys. He's in good spirits, though.
Yeah, it looks like it could be a broken foot, the way that they were supporting that foot as he left the field. Too bad.
You know what? You didn't know whether it was a foot or a knee, and there was always concern when there's a knee that it's an ACL. And if it is a foot, that's a whole lot better than blowing your ACL.
Oh, no question. You just that broken bone in the foot will heal up.
Jared Hicks run out of bounds by Anya Ngetcha after a 1-yard gain on a little hitch. You know, the possessions today, I said 1 punt, actually 2 punts for Texas Tech. They had the 3 and out
and they ran
on their third series. But that interception, you showed it, Dave, a few moments ago. That's really the biggest play of this game right now.
In that 8-play drive to start it off, settling for a field goal there was big, and then interception on the other red zone opportunity, and finally capitalizing on a red zone touchdown.
5 coming. Hodges in trouble. Now he's going to use the legs. And Hodges will have a first down at the 34-yard line. Latimer got a piece of him to bring him down. But a first down for Texas Tech. 3rd time today Hodges has gotten it with his legs.
Yeah, and he makes a quick decision. And once he makes the decision to go, he doesn't second guess it. And he reads the blitz. Oklahoma comes with 5 and, you know, nowhere to go with the ball down the football field. He sees a lane and he capitalized.
So now Tech out at the 44-yard line. Quick throw complete. And another first down. Fulani with another catch. That's his 5th of the day.
Boy, Wolf was given a ton of cushion over there. It was a little pitch and catch. I mean, Wolf was way off.
This is a tough matchup. Fulani 6'3", Dave, almost 2 1/4, but he's the fastest wide receiver they have.
Look at the space. I mean, Wolf is retreating. I mean, he's given about, you know, 8 or 9 yards cushion. I mean, if the ball is caught, it's a first down. And it was caught and finished by Fulani.
All these starting receivers are juniors. They're all coming back. In terms of talent, it's the best receiving crew Mike Leach has had at Texas Tech. They're just a little bit short on experience, but they're coming. And it's complete to the 35-yard line. First catch for Danny Amendola, the sophomore from the Woodlands, Texas.
And that was one of the goals today, was to get the ball more to the H-back where Danny Amendola plays. The distribution was a little bit out of sync. You know, Mike Leach's balance is distributing the football equally to all the receiver positions, and he was a little bit under norm to that H-back spot.
Well, one of the guys playing some of the H-back today is Bristol Olamua, and he has several catches.
Yeah, exactly. And look at the catches per game here. The 4 top receivers in the Big 12. They all reside here under Mike Leach's spread offense. If you're a quarterback, if you're a receiver, Mike Leach wants you here at Texas Tech, and why not consider it? The ball is in the air here as much as anywhere with great results. They lead the nation in passing every year, it seems like.
With Tech on the move, they have a 3-point lead. Clock moving, less than a minute to play in the 3rd quarter. Henderson next to Hodges. Blitz coming, and they're going to get there. It's C.J. Ayu, the junior from Highland, Utah, with a sack, his 5th of the year.
Oklahoma brought 5, and Ayu got free and finished. Ayu's done a good job as well. Here's the 4 and the 5th on the blitz. A mistake in the protection. Ayu comes clean. Ramirez and Hall, and Ramirez is going crazy. He's saying, you missed my call. You missed my call, or you didn't give me the right call. They let Ayu go, and that's what you do. You kind of disguise your intentions. You know, that blitz came late. The protection calls are already made. 2 Texas Tech linemen block 1 guy. The other one comes free.
That will be the final snap of the 3rd quarter. 10-7 through 45 minutes from Lubbock, Texas. You're watching College Football Saturday, presented by Kyocera on FSN. Take a look at our Nissan game summary with the Red Raiders leading the Sooners 10-7. And you know what? Texas Tech, Dave, behind Henderson and stopping Peterson, they've done more things right in this game, but the reason it's a field goal difference, -2 in turnover ratio.
Exactly. Those 2 interceptions, Drew, and they're both end zone interceptions going into score.
1st and 10 at the 18-yard line for Texas Tech. 14:47 to go in the 4th quarter. The Red Raiders leading the Sooners 10-7. Schaefer is the fullback in the offset eye. David Schaefer. 3-step drop, fade route toward Hicks. He's out there, and interference is going to be called on Chijoke Anyanagetcha.
Yeah, he grabbed and hooked up on Hicks well before the arrival of the football. And he got turned around, and here you have matched up on Hicks. Take a look. Now he's riding him. Now he grabs him. And now he tries to turn him around, and it's pass interference. Boy, there's both guys bear hugging there. There's a lot of contact. Hicks gets the hand up in the face mask.
But they look like long-lost relatives that hadn't seen each other.
Yeah, there was a group hug going on down there, wasn't there?
Well, if this was the NFL, they'd put it on the doorstep.
A lot of chicken fighting going on in that sequence.
Pass interference. Defense. 15-yard penalty from the previous spot.
Half the distance.
Automatic first down.
First and goal at the 3-yard line for Texas Tech.
Of course, on Sunday, it's first and goal at the 1, but they walk off the entire 15-yard penalty. And here Tech goes on the doorstep and could really do some damage here.
Schaefer and Henderson, and again Hodges goes under center.
Checking the play at the line of scrimmage. A little check with me. He's calling the play out.
Looking backside now, Hodges. Throwing touchdown, Olamua. Wow, Hodges looked at everybody, and maybe now a flag comes in really late from the back judge.
Celebration maybe, celebration penalty, and Olamua just kind of jumped up and down and spiked the ball, and he was happy.
Dave, Hodges checked everybody out not once through his progression, but twice.
Yeah, and he bought time and bought a passing opportunity with his feet, and they're saying incomplete. Dvorak's waving off the touchdown. But watch the patience. Watch the patience of Hodges as he breaks to the side and then breaks it back with the feet. Now he finds Olamua separating himself in the back line of the end zone. There's no real celebration there.
No, and they picked up the flag. Randy Crystal a moment ago, he picked up the flag. He said no penalty.
Well, it's no play. What's the deal? They're going to, okay, no penalty. They just picked it up. Huh. What did it do, fall out of his pocket? I mean, maybe he was anticipating celebration.
Well, players are allowed my bad.
Yeah.
Official my bad. Trulika makes it 17-7. And the way this game has played out, that is a big separation right now. 10-point lead for Texas Tech. Olamua in the end zone. Second and 10. Handoff Kewan Jones. And a good tackle by Sylvester Brinkley. Ken Scott was there as well. We've talked a lot about Dwayne Slay, one of the top defenders in this conference. How about his head coach?
He's able to come downhill without hesitating and hit what he's aiming at. And a lot of times people, you know, there's a hesitation as far as adjusting to what the other guy's going to do, and Dwayne doesn't really have that.
You know, what Coach means there is he runs through people. He doesn't like break it down and second guess himself. He finishes it, runs right through him.
And it is complete out to the 39, maybe the 40-yard line. Thompson with another catch. He had only 7 receptions coming in. That's his 4th catch today. 6'4" junior from Leander, Texas.
And with that athletic ability, you got to get him on the football field. You know, even though he's not playing quarterback and the development of Rhett Bomar continues, a guy like Thompson can contribute to your football team, and he is.
He reminds me a little bit of a guy a couple years ago from Missouri. Moved from quarterback to wide receiver. Justin Gage, now playing in the NFL. Good throw. Iglesias the catch at the 41-yard line. Bomar with a beautiful pass there. And Iglesias with the catch, another first down for Oklahoma.
And Iglesias leaving the field. Looks like he's hurt a little bit, making his way to the sideline. Gets inside of Meeks. Makes the play on a Slay trying to come over the top. That's a good route and a great throw. Iglesias is shaking it off on the sideline. Looks like he might have gotten something in his eye.
7:38, 7:37, clock moving after the set of the football. 10-point lead for Texas Tech. Peterson cuts it up. Peterson knocked down after a 9-yard gain by Slay. How many tackles does he have today? Kidding me?
He's trying to be a Sooner Slayer today.
Second and short. Bomar against a 5-man rush. Double move on the outside, and that's going to be interference on Chris Parker. Parker trying to cover Malcolm Kelly. And
pushed him out of bounds.
Yeah, he pushed him out of bounds. Contact down the football field.
Yep, you can't run him off the field of play. And that's what he did. You can use that sideline as a 12th man.
Interference, defense, number 17. It's a 15-yard penalty, first down.
Parker getting the start at the left corner for Antonio Huffman. Huffman, the normal starter, opposite Khalid Nazaruddin, but he couldn't go today.
Couldn't go, and Bomar into the wind, throwing some pretty good balls. I mean, he has plenty of arm strength. There's no doubt about it. Mike Leach looking at the clock and just wishing it would move faster.
Here comes Peterson to the 10-yard line.
Boy, he comes at you, doesn't he? Finishes runs.
You heard Barry Switzer earlier when he joined us saying he's the biggest running back that he remembers, primary running back, a tailback type, at Oklahoma since he recruited Marcus Dupree.
Biggest physical presence. Yep.
2nd and 4. And Peterson trying to get wide, nowhere to go. He's bottled up, and Slay has him, and he'll drop him for a 2-yard loss. Sylvester Brinkley also in the neighborhood.
Boy, Slay, when big plays have to be made defensively, number 3 is usually in the mix somewhere. He gets after it, makes his reads, and will close quickly.
Third and 7 for Oklahoma. They trail by 10. Bomar all day. Now he's flushed. Man open, touchdown. Kelly came free.
Great job by Bomar. Patience. You know, out of control quarterback early on, not knowing what he's looking at, Drew. That time, boy, did he show patience. And he was rewarded by that patience.
Malcolm Kelly came free.
Oh, these guys going to be hooking up a few times during the course of their career. Redshirt freshman to true freshman. And Bomar makes the read and throws the football where it needs to be in that tight window in the red zone for a touchdown.
Homecoming from Malcolm Kelly is from Longview, Texas. And he makes it a 3-point game with 5:57 to play. Had a big day last week, 118 yards receiving against Texas A&M. Bomar scrambles, Kelly open in the end zone. 89-yard drive. Oh, the plot thickens in West Texas. The Red Raiders lead now just a field goal after Malcolm Kelly caps an 89-yard drive with his 2nd touchdown of his very promising career for the Oklahoma Sooners.
Boy, instead of out of control scramble, controlled scramble by Bomar. Got his eyes down the field the whole time, trying to find some place to deliver the football. He wasn't running around aimlessly. There was a purpose to it all. And he's played enough snaps now, Drew, where he has a reference point. He can go back to mistakes he made and say, I'm not going to make those anymore, and he's doing that.
Amendola from the 8-yard line. And Danny's wrapped up at the 17. Very good coverage downfield. Making the play is Austin Dennison.
Big series right here for both the Tech spread offense and the Oklahoma defense.
Hodges 20 of 27 throwing the football in the game. He'll give it to Henderson on 1st down. And this is bottled up nicely. Latimer will get up last defensively, a short gain. 2nd and 9. Hodges is throwing for 178 yards, 2 touchdown passes, 2 interceptions in the end zone in this ball game.
Yeah, those end zone interceptions, no red zone points as a result of those. How big are those right now? And then settling for a field goal in the red zone on another inside the 20 opportunity. Those points, those 18 points left on the field, loom large in a 3-point game.
They bring 5. Latimer coming up the middle. It's picked up. And Hodges will take a blow right around the line of scrimmage. Dvorak. That's not a guy you want running into you.
No. Dvorak. Listen to this contact. You hear the plastic, you hear the snapping going on right there as pad hits pad, helmet hits helmet. That is football. And when you have an angry defensive tackle who doesn't want to run that far to hit you, when he gets there, he's definitely going to hit you.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to make it worth his while.
Yeah.
3rd down and 9 for Texas Tech. 5:03 with the clock stopped left in the 4th quarter. 17-14 Red Raiders. 11 players around the line of scrimmage for Oklahoma, and they bring 8 of them. Man coverage on the outside, and they never get close to Jared Hicks. Anya Ngetcha had the coverage 3 and out, so the Sooner defense steps up.
How about that sequence of snaps right there for Brent Venables and that Oklahoma Sooner defense? Now, Texas Tech does have the wind at their back, and this is why they wanted to have the wind at their back for a lot of reasons, but also, like Coach Switzer was talking about, it affects the kicking game more than anything. What will Reyes do? Will he hit a bomb or not?
Juwan Rankins back at his own 35. Alex Reyes, a very returnable kick from the 40-yard line. Rankins makes one man miss, trying to get to the wall.
Ooh.
And he's going to get it to the 49-yard line. Outstanding field position for Oklahoma. 4:46 to go in regulation. A 3-point ball game.
No doubt about it, Noxian. Drew, who made the play? Who made the tackle on that punt return? Slay. All the starters for Texas Tech defense are on at least 3 special teams. They play 90 snaps a game.
Oh, good open field tackle that time by Parker, because Adrian Peterson had big-time speed through that hole.
And right now, Oklahoma, Bob Stoops and his coaches and players are thinking touchdown. Don't want to have to kick into this wind to potentially tie a football game.
And after that last score, Dave, now with all kinds of time left, you're no longer one-dimensional. You don't have to throw the football.
Oh, absolutely. You got plenty of time. It's execution now.
And here comes Peterson again, and he'll get 6 or 7. First down, Oklahoma, 39-yard line at Texas Tech. Fletcher Session made the tackle, but 2 runs produce a first down.
And when this guy smells an opportunity, he's a physical marvel. So as the 4th quarter rolls along, he starts to wear you down. You don't wear him down. Peterson hammering him regularly at a defense wears the defense down. And really, Texas Tech, with all the injuries, they can't roll a whole lot of defensive linemen in there. So it is a factor as the 4th quarter unfolds.
Bomar to throw, and he's a little bit behind Kelly there. Well, it's a handful, as we've described. We can only imagine what it's like trying to tackle Adrian Peterson. But let's just go back 2 years ago. I mean, this is in high school.
Yeah, it's a man amongst boys here. He's bigger than the lineman. I mean, these guys are trying to tackle him, and it's like no chance. And he shows the contact balance, the ability to finish, the strength, the size. I mean, that was a one-of-a-kind high school football player. His head coach was like, you got to be kidding me. I have a genetic freak right here.
Do you know what, like in Pop Warner, they put patches on kids when they weigh too much, Dave? Yeah. He was a double patch running back in high school. I mean, he should have had to wear both patches. He only gets 10 touches. That's it.
Right.
Everything beyond that is unfair.
Probably averaged 20 yards a carry this year.
3rd down and 5 after Peterson gets 5. 3:30, clock moving. 17-14 Red Raiders trying to close out an unbeaten season at home.
Well, the goal is to score points, obviously, and in so doing, don't give Texas Tech time to answer. There's 3 minutes and 22 seconds on the clock. A big, huge 3rd down play right here. In a close game, ball security becomes an issue.
Well, last year when Oklahoma won the football game between these two schools 28-13, they were +4 in turnover ratio.
Right.
They are +2 today. They trail right now. They're faced with a 3rd and 5 at the +35-yard line. Oklahoma the 34. They need to get to the 29.
They have 2 timeouts. Texas Tech has none.
Bomar quarterback draw, and he won't get close.
4 down territory, though.
Yep. McKinnon-Dixon got him around the legs. number 47 very quickly. If you're looking at McKinnon-Dixon saying, hold on, he wore number 91 earlier in the game. He did. In the first half, he wore 91, and we don't know why, but he switched jerseys. He's now 47. Dave, 4th down and 2.
Well, maybe you get the jersey torn like Bomar right there. Look at Bomar. Somebody got a handful of jersey and tried to rip it right off his shoulder pads. And this is too long a field goal opportunity into the wind. Ball game right here.
And it won't be Peterson. He's not in the game. Kewan Jones is. They throw it to Jones. He makes the catch, and he got enough for a 1st down, I believe. And I'll tell you what, the throw was low, and he had to go to the turf to make the catch. Fortunately for Oklahoma, he got enough for a 1st down, because once that knee goes down in college, you're done.
Exactly. When the ball hits the turf, or your knee or elbow or anything, you don't have to be down by contact. Once you're down, that's it. Can't get back up and accumulate any more yards. The ball came out, but it can't be. He's down by contact. Hitting the ground, can't force a fumble. And how about the confidence they have in the redshirt freshman quarterback throwing it on 4th down?
I was really surprised we didn't see an eye set and the ball go to Peterson.
Little power.
It'll go to Peterson here. And Peterson grabbed from behind after a minimal gain, just a couple of yards. Keona Dawson got him. How about Dawson, Dave, from a defensive end spot? 96 is 3rd on that defense in tackles.
Yeah, he's a playmaker, and a lot of his compadres, they were really looking forward to this defensive line, and a lot of guys went down with injury. Bob Stoops is he's thinking touchdown right now.
That's Garrett Hartley, the field goal kicker. Oh, and that's a drop by Thompson, his 2nd of the day. He's been the favorite target of Red Bomar today, but he also has 2 drops.
Yeah, he does at critical times too. And about this field position in the first half, on 1st down, he dropped the ball toward the sideline that would have put him in the red zone, and that catch that was dropped would have put him in the red zone as well. The opportunity for catch. Got to execute. Here we go, 3rd down again. And really the success ratio for Oklahoma on 4th down, 8 for 13 coming into today, and I think they're at least 2 for 2, maybe 3 for 3 today.
An enormous play here. They need the 19. 8 in coverage. Flag comes down. It is incomplete.
I think
Bubba Moses, the intended target. Vincent Meeks, the coverage, but a flag in the secondary before the ball was thrown.
I thought Fletcher Session was holding.
Personal foul, face mask, number 41 defense.
Well, that's
again.
The face mask occurred on an eligible receiver. It's an automatic 1st down.
That's amazing.
Well, it's not Session.
No, it isn't.
It's Sylvester Brinkley.
That's his 3rd.
That's his 3rd 15-yard penalty today.
Yep. Sylvester Brinkley with the face mask.
Well, it was a form of holding.
Yeah. Well, that's a tough one.
I mean, you have a chance. Now you're talking about 4th down and 7 or 8. Instead, it's 1st down at the 13-yard line. 1:41 to play. Here comes Adrian Peterson. And he breaks the tackle. And he's going to get in the end zone. Touchdown.
Man, was he patient? He was Nazaruddin.
He had Nazaruddin. Rudin got into his body, but could not bring him to the ground. And Peterson in the end zone for Oklahoma.
Drew, I thought I was about to give Nazaruddin a lot of credit and say, you know, here's a guy that made himself a football player in the weight room, and he was using the sideline as his 12th man, and he had it contained, and he turned Peterson back inside, and once he turned him inside, Peterson shucked him like an ear of corn now. I mean, he just said, you're not going to tackle me. He used that right arm for the stiff arm and just threw him down to the turf. What an amazing effort. One-on-one, that's a beast to tackle on the perimeter. This Nazaruddin found out.
Big extra point for Hartley. He gets it through, and now it's a 4-point separation. Tech needs to get in the end zone. They'll have 1:33 to do it. Let's look at that run by Peterson one more time.
2nd rushing touchdown of the day, put him over 100 yards for the day. And Nazaruddin, you can see him closing, and he's got him in his sights. And there they are one-on-one. He says, no, right arm, stiff arm. And now I got the sideline. And he gets inside the pylon and finishes before the contact. What an effort by one heck of a football player. One-on-one in space. He can run around you, or run through you. He has got a rare blend of speed and power that few have had.
That's not a dream you want to have when you put your head on the pillow if you're a DB and you see Adrian Peterson one-on-one.
And Nazarudine is he's kind of like a poster boy for Texas Tech football. Started as a Division III player, wanted to play Division I, and he walks on at Texas Tech, and he says, you know what, I'm fifth string, but I'm going to eventually keep working and get there. Gets in the weight room, and he's one of the strongest guys in the secondary. But Adrian Peterson is a different breed of cat. Here he's got perfect technique. He's got the outside contained. He's going to turn him back inside. Once he turns him back inside, see you. Peterson senses that he's off balance, uses the right arm, throws him to the turf before Meeks can hit him. Peterson's inside the pylon.
21-17, Oklahoma. And this kick goes out of bounds. That is costly.
Yeah, get the ball at the 40.
So they moved the football to the 35-yard line.
I had Sunday in mind. It's the 40 on Sunday, 35 on Saturday.
1:33 left. No timeouts left for Tech. But they have the best passing offense in college football.
Yes,
they bring 6. Hodges steps up. He has room to run if he wants to, and he will. He's trying to get out of bounds, and he does. He picks up 10 as Jason Carter grabbed him. So they stop the clock and advance at 10 yards. They must get it in the end zone. It's a 4-point separation.
Remember, they have no timeouts, but the clock does stop in college football with a first down. The clock stops while the chains move. They have the wind at their back. They don't have any timeouts, but 1 minute and 23 seconds with this offense is light years of time, and Bob Stoops knows that. Execution by Texas Tech will decide this football game offensively. Execution by the Sooner defense will decide it. There's plenty of time. It's all about making plays.
Dave, you make a great point. In college football, when you get a first down with the stoppage of the clock, you can run so many more plays than you can in the NFL.
Yep.
Hodges in trouble, trying to hang in there. He's sacked back at the 41-yard line. Now they got to get up quickly. Zach Latimer, Clint Ingram got him. The Sooners 9 sacks last week. That's their 4th this afternoon.
They have a lot of speed on the field right now. They have a lot of linebackers out there. Some of them have their hand down in a 3-point stance coming off the edge.
Yeah, he never did get that first down. It's 3rd down and 4. I thought they gave him the first down. It was 2nd and 1. He's in trouble again. Man comes free. It's Johnson. Robert Johnson out of bounds. 34-yard line of Oklahoma.
What a play by Hodges, and he's hurt a little bit, slow to get up, but he does make his way up. And Robert Johnson stays with it. The theory here for Texas Tech, if it's zone, settle into the zone. If it's man, continue to run. He ran anyway, and he said, you know what? I got to make myself available and bail Hodges out. And he did. Robert Johnson gets out of bounds to stop the clock.
Some young quarterbacks look at a rush, and I know we've talked about Bomar being a young quarterback. In terms of experience, Hodges, 5th-year senior, is a young quarterback. That's Thibodeau down. In terms of experience, Hodges had not started prior to this year. A handful of passes in his first few years here. That kid's courageous. I mean, he does not look at the rush.
What you have is, for the 4th straight year, you have a 5th-year senior. The maturity that comes with that.
And Thibodeau goes to the bench. Brinkley has been active today, but unfortunately he's had 3 flags against him as well. 21-17. Oklahoma leading. 50 seconds left. 1st and 10 from the 33-yard line of the Sooners. Oklahoma showing blitz again. They've come every play so far on this drive. And they're coming again here. And throwing it away is Cody Hodges. It'll be 2nd and 10. That play took 6 seconds.
You know, we talked about it earlier. Oklahoma has been in a lot of close football games, and they've won their share of them. Even though they're a young football team, they are learning how to finish close football games. And sometimes that's the toughest thing. Learn how to finish close games. In the young stage, a lot of these kids' careers, they're getting that indoctrination.
And there's a coach on the field for Oklahoma, and a flag
That's the second
was
time
thrown. And they were flagged earlier for delay of game for having a coach on the field.
Multiple coaches on the field, and he's telling them to get off right now.
Sideline warning, Oklahoma. First sideline warning of the half.
And at the end of the second quarter, they were called for delay of game because there were multiple coaches on the field, and they obviously didn't dispute it. And as a 5-yard penalty became a factor.
Well, they just gave him a warning there, but very clearly an Oklahoma coach was 3 yards onto the football field.
And a flag was thrown, but it was just thrown to stop the game to warn them.
Oklahoma blitzes up the middle. Hodges flushed again. And he gets it away to Johnson. Johnson, quiet most of the day, has been large on this drive. He gets 7 or 8. And he gets the clock stopped with 37 seconds left.
Watch, they're going to bring 6. When you bring 6, there's only 5 in coverage and 4 men out in the route. So now at some point in time, it's going to break down. Robert Johnson stayed with it. You know what? That's a dicey proposition to throw that late at the sideline. Eric Bassey almost, he could have been flagged for a hit out of bounds as well. You got to be smarter than that. Know where you are on the field.
They probably need, Dave, it's 3rd and 3. They probably need another 8 yards or so to start taking legitimate end zone shots.
And it's field goals, nothing. It's all touchdown right now.
Low snap. Hodges throws a 50-50 ball out of bounds, though. The ball was caught out of bounds. It'll be 4th down and 3.
Hicks makes a great play, the body control that you talked about earlier, but you have to have possession and 1 foot down in bounds. NFL 2 feet, college football 1 foot. You have to have possession and the 1 foot down in bounds. Possession, ooh, he's on the white. He's on the chalk. Good call. But boy, what a great catch. DJ Wolf in coverage, tight coverage. Definitely right foot on that sideline, out of bounds. Game of inches, isn't it, as they say?
It is. Right now, it's a game of yards, 3 of them. 4th down and 3. Oklahoma drops in coverage. Ball's batted up in the air.
Who caught it? Who caught it?
You want to know it? Doesn't matter. It's short of a 1st down.
Tech caught it, but
Tech caught it, but it looks like it's short. We'll see on the spot. Amendola came up with a football, but I think he's short.
Wow, what a play. It's deflected at the line of scrimmage, goes airborne, and it's tug-of-war time. They got to measure this.
They got a pretty decent spot out of the deal. Can you believe that ball is batted?
Yeah.
Amendola comes down with it.
You know, Hodges has had a few balls deflected during the course of the season, 6-1 at the most, an airborne tip ball, and boy, that time, great play by Amendola to stay with it. And is that Wilson, or who is that tips that ball? I mean, that's a good job. They bring a defensive back, Carter.
1st down, Texas Tech.
What about Amendola staying after it? Because I thought that Oklahoma had better position for the possible interception. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable is right. He got it by the nose of the football.
We're going to take a look at this and make sure that the ball is spotted properly, because this is such a critical play. That is something that's reviewable. Where was possession? Where was the ball on the football field at the point of possession? Because this obviously can determine the outcome of the football game. It comes down to a game of inches, as we said earlier, and that is literally inches.
After review, the play is confirmed as called.
Confirmed as called. Amendola possession, spotted the ball correct.
Now here you go, Dave. It's 1st down, but more importantly, it's 27 seconds left. You're at the 22-yard line. You do have the wind at your back, so you can make legitimate throws to the end zone. Oklahoma again comes with pressure toward Hicks. Man coverage with Wolf, and it's broken up.
Man, Hicks almost came down with that football because of the unbelievable body control he has. When he goes airborne, he seems to hang in the air. Now, he sees the ball first, slight little push-off. Airborne, tries to come back for the ball, gets both hands on it, but can't pull it in. What an unbelievable effort by Hicks, though, because Wolf can't have any better coverage than he had. Tremendous position, but Hicks' 6'4" body with the leaping ability of body control almost won anyway.
They're going to get a safety over the top on Hicks this time. They got him bracketed. Amendola to the 5-yard line. Now they got to get up and spike the football.
The clock stops.
The clock stops till they set it.
Right.
But they got to get right to the line of scrimmage, because as soon as it's set, they put it in motion again.
And he'll still have 3 plays after this. He'll spike it on 1st down. Still gives them 3 more to work with, 3 downs.
Hicks has man coverage. They go the other direction, and Fulani has it. Did he get a foot down? Touchdown, Texas Tech.
Oh, wow.
With 9 seconds left. Fulani with the catch.
Did he have possession? Did he have full possession and at least 1 foot in bounds? And this one they're obviously going to take a look at. Did he juggle it? Did he have possession? But instead of spiking it, they go to the fade to Fulani. And boy, what a great throw. Now you have to have full possession. No catch.
No, that's no catch.
That's not even never came close to a catch.
Yeah, that's not even close.
I can't believe the official signaled touchdown, to be honest with you. That's shocking. That's not even close.
There will be 9 seconds left when they get this figured out.
He never had possession for, 3 steps after the ball. The ball it's in the corner of the end zone. Never has possession. He still doesn't have possession. He's 5 yards out of bounds.
Well,
never catches the ball.
Never caught it.
Never got full possession of the football. You can't call that a touchdown. No possession, no possession, no possession. Ball's on the ground. No way.
After further replay review, it's determined the ball was bobbled.
So they'll snap it from the 5-yard line. 9 seconds left. You would assume you can get 2, maybe 3. But they got to happen quick.
Yeah, 2 for sure. 3 would be a stretch, I think. You're right.
Hicks is 6'4". Fulani, who couldn't haul that one in, is 6'2" if you're thinking fade. Hicks goes to the top of your screen. Oklahoma has brought heat every snap of this drive.
This is where it's tough for Tech when the field's compressed like this with this spread offense.
Amendola was grabbed.
Yeah.
He was grabbed.
Yep.
He was grabbed in the end zone by Darian Williams, no question about it.
Half the distance to the goal, that's a good penalty. If you're beaten, grab, because then you live for another snap. And, that's what you're thinking as a defensive back. I've gotten beaten on the move off the line of scrimmage. Oh, I got to reach out and grab him because it's a touchdown. So now the ball moves half the distance to the goal, and it's like an incompletion because the field position doesn't matter. They're still going to be throwing the football.
Pass interference. Defense. Foul occurred in the end zone. The ball will be placed on the 2-yard line. 1st down.
And will Tech, with 6 seconds left, run the ball? If you don't score, the clock expires. If you throw an incompletion with 6 seconds, you still could live for another snap. So you think probably they won't run the football, but just when you think that, Mike Leach may cross you up. But by this formation, you would wonder.
Henderson is right next to Hodges, but if he didn't score, it's the game over. Quick throw, that's broken up by Bassey. They were trying to get it to Johnson. There are 4 seconds left on a slant. Eric Bassey, a senior corner from Garland, Texas, got the left hand in.
And Bassey was a starter at safety for a while as well and got in the doghouse a little bit, but boy, he'll get out of the doghouse with a play like that. And it all comes down to this. With 4 seconds to go, you might, if you run a quick slant like that, you might have a second left after this play. Well, possibly. That took 2.
Yeah, that play took 2 seconds.
Right.
Hicks again is up top.
He runs it.
He runs it to Henderson. He stopped short of the end zone. He stopped short of the end zone.
Oh, he gave it to him.
He gave it to him. And he gave him a touchdown.
Wow.
And on the final play of the game, Tech has won it 23-21.
This may be reviewed. Did the ball cross the plane of the end zone before he went to the ground? Before any body part touched down, did the ball cross the plane? This one will be reviewed. This is being looked at. Did the ball cross the plane? This one will be reviewed. This is being looked at. This is being looked at.
Yeah, there's no question you got to look at this one.
You got to. The fans have to stay off the field, and you have to decide, did any point of the ball cross the very, very beginning of the white line of the goal line?
Again, it's got to be overwhelming evidence, indisputable evidence to overturn what was called on the field, and that is touchdown.
Yeah, and really, Taurean Henderson, how does he get there? His helmet gets there. He's reaching the ball out. He reached the ball over, but was he down before he extended the football? Where is he? Is the ball down? Is his body down before he extends the ball out? The ball is definitely extended out, but has his knee or his hip or anything hit the ground before that, or is he on another body?
But here's the deal, Dave. It's one of those. It's one of those situations.
Field stays.
It's hard to overturn what was called on the field.
Right. And let's take a look at it from an end zone look here. Where is he down? Is he on the ground or is he on somebody's body? That's a touchdown, I think. He's still on a body and he's extending the ball out. He's on his teammate's body, on the legs. He's never hit the ground before he extends the ball. I think that gives a pretty good picture of it, and that's what the official that signaled late touchdown. He saw that Taurean Henderson still was not on the ground.
After further review,
touchdown. What a call by Mike Leach to roll the dice and run the football, and the Riverboat Gambler lives on.
Tech, first time under Mike Leach, has defeated Oklahoma 23-21 is the final.
And what about Taurean Henderson? What a senior day for senior Taurean Henderson. And Mike Leach beats Bob Stoops for the first time.
Let's go down to the field. Jim Knox with our Kyocera player of the game, Cody Hodges.
All right, thanks, Drew. Cody, take us through that last few plays. What was going on out there?
We practiced a 2-minute drill all the time, so we knew we had enough time. Those receivers made some great plays, some great catches. There at the end, coach told me to throw it in the end zone or call a run. They had a little hole. I knew Taurean, if he got the ball, he's a great player. And I knew, obviously OU wasn't thinking we were going to run the ball, so I think we caught him off guard.
What a finish in Lubbock. The Red Raiders over the Sooners 23-21. I know you enjoyed that one. 3 more to come today on FSN. For Dave Lapham and Jim Knox and our entire crew, I'm Drew Goodman saying so long from Lubbock. Enjoy Washington, Washington State.